Damn, look at that production value. We're like a real YouTuber. So yesterday, the Poppy rework went up on the live client, and I'm gonna go ahead and get to work on that champion review, but today I'm gonna go ahead and take a little bit of time to talk about the upcoming dynamic queue in League of Legends. Now, for any of you who haven't heard, dynamic queue is the new queuing system that's gonna be replacing the traditional solo queue style that we've been having with draft pick, where it's gonna be much more like team builder, where you can choose champions and a role that you wanna play beforehand, and it's also gonna be a system where you can queue with however many people you want. You can either continue queuing on your own like you do in solo queue, or you can queue up to a team of 5. A lot of people have already given opinions on what they think the new queuing system will be like, and I have a bunch of positives and negatives that I think will come with the new queuing system, but today I want to take some time to talk about a problem that League of Legends and most modern multiplayer video games currently have that dynamic queue might inadvertently help solve. In my experience, a lot of games that I played back, especially in the early 2000s, felt a lot more personal than the multiplayer games we play nowadays. This isn't just looking back with rose-tinted goggles or 90s kids nostalgia or anything. I mean, back then the technology that we had for the matchmaking services that we used weren't as ubiquitous and robust as what we have nowadays, meaning that we sort of had to form personal connections if we wanted to experience all of the games that we played. Think about the games you played back then. Stuff like Vanilla WoW, RuneScape, Halo 2, Halo 3, Xbox Live, even like Super Smash Bros. Melee. These were all games that were kind of limited in the matchmaking services that they had back then. I mean, if you wanted to do a raid in WoW, there was no LFR. You had to physically get however many people you needed together. Same goes for Xbox Live. Halo 2, Halo 3, one of the most fun things to do was play custom maps, play stuff like zombies, and you did not have a queuing system for zombies back then the way you do nowadays. You needed to get however many people you needed into a lobby together and then just play with that same group of friends over and over and over. Because of this, you had a real personal connection with a lot of the people that you played with or that you raided with, and you had some serious friends. I mean, you made some lifelong friends if you spent a lot of time playing these games. The people that you met, maybe they had flaws like human beings do, but rather than just saying, oh, this guy's getting a little weird, I'm gonna ditch him, you didn't always have that opportunity. You still needed that guy to raid with you or to play customs or do whatever. And the same sort of situation transferred over to the competitive games that you played, the perfect example being Super Smash Bros. Melee. That game had no online capabilities. It came out in 2001, so if you wanted to play against someone that wasn't a bot or your brother, you were physically restricted to the state that you lived in or the tri-state area. How far you were willing to drive determined the amount of players that you were going to play with. So when you went to local tournaments and you played with the same friends and against the same opponents over and over and over, you had a real sense of community and lifelong friendships that you made. And again, you had that same sort of mentality where if you're doing teams, if you're playing 2v2 with a guy that is your regular teammate and maybe he starts sucking and he really flops one tournament, you don't view that as, okay, he sucks now, we're going to go ahead and ditch him and find someone better. No, you worked with him to get better as a group together. But that's not really the case anymore for League of Legends, is it? Let's say you're playing ranked, you're playing solo queue at like gold 5 or something, and you get a guy on your team in a few games where you both do pretty well, so you decide to duo with each other. You duo for a while and maybe you even get promoted to gold 4, but after a while he starts sucking a little bit. Maybe he has a few games where he goes 1-5, 1-8. What do you think? You don't think, okay, he's starting to hit his skill ceiling, this is something we have to work through so we get better together. No, you ditch him. You say, okay, see ya, buddy. We have millions of people that are better than you already that are higher rated than gold 4 that we can duo queue with. There's no point in just focusing on making you better because I don't need you. It's a really weird and pessimistic way to look at things because you're devaluing all the interactions that you have with individuals, but it's just something that naturally happens when you have millions of people that you can play with and against. Now, my hope is that dynamic queue might be able to help this problem out at least a little bit. I mean, League of Legends is a more team-oriented game right now than it ever has been before, and dynamic queue is going to encourage you to play with as many people as possible and also encourage you to play with the same group of friends. In the current solo queue, you have to be a complete player to consistently rise in rating. If you want to win in solo queue, you have to have every element of the game down: map awareness, game knowledge, decision making, mechanical skill with CSing, and everything like that. You have to have all of it down. But if you're playing with a group of 5 people, maybe you play AD carry, and you don't actually have to have that great of map awareness because you're queuing with a support that's going to ward the lane and ping and tell you if someone's coming to gank. You can play with a jungler at the same time who comes and camps bot lane if you're struggling a little bit with map awareness and counter ganks if the enemy jungler comes. He can keep map control, keep tabs on the enemy jungler. You can have a mid laner in that team too that coordinates double gank spot lane with your jungler and your support, and you can have some seriously cool tower dives where you snowball leads, and even if you lack in certain areas of the game, you can have teammates that make up for that. I mean, I doubt Riot thought about this at all when they were implementing dynamic queue, but I think this might be a really nice byproduct of the new queuing system. But then again, maybe I am just nostalgia tripping. For whatever reason, I don't don't think I'm making as many meaningful connections as I did back in the day. But anyway, I'd love to hear what you guys think about all this. Feel free to leave a comment down below and tell me what you think of the new queuing system, and also if you like this weird little vloggy style of video. I'll get to work on that Poppy Champion review. Hopefully that'll be out soon, but until then, thank you very much for watching. Good luck in solo queue, and have a wonderful day.
Alright, kick back, relax, and let's hit it again. While you go tell your mother, father, cousin, and kid.